Why does your smartphone lose charge, even when you don't use it? A modern smartphone has many apps running in the background, which hog battery power. There are certain other reasons for an unexpectedly dead phone, including bad network reception, bad apps, and the composition of the battery, just to name a few. Reasons why your phone discharges even when it's not being used. Background apps. When we talk about the battery life of a smartphone, most of us judge or comment on the quality or power of the battery in relation to how many apps and programs we can use on the phone. In other words, if a user primarily opens 5 apps on their phone, they'll judge their phone battery on the amount of time it runs those 5 apps before needing to be recharged. But here's the thing. Although we only judge the phone battery based on the apps we use actively or frequently, the battery must provide for and support all apps and programs that run on the phone. And that includes background apps. These are casually referred to as background apps because, well, they run in the background. Even when you put your phone to sleep and turn the screen off, it still has to do some stuff in the background, such as communicating with a tower, listening for incoming texts and calls, and so on. Background apps not only comprise mainstream apps like Facebook, LinkedIn, Gmail, etc., but also Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and even GPS. If the location of your phone is set to on, it means that it's constantly communicating with GPS satellites that orbit our planet, a constant level of communication that consumes power. If you want to check out the background apps hogging your phone battery at this very moment, go to the power settings of your smartphone and see the breakdown of how its power is being used. It is these apps that consume power, which is why your phone battery drains even when it's not being used actively. Bad network reception. You may have noticed that your phone battery needs to be topped up more often if you have bad reception on the phone. This is especially true when you're traveling through a region where the network reception on your phone ranges from bad to virtually non-existent. Bad, or battery hogging apps. Some apps are just designed in a way that they consume a lot of power. Apps that draw heavily on the phone battery usually have a ton of features to offer, which often act as a diversion for how much battery juice they require. Users access and interact with these apps, completely oblivious to how much load they are putting on the phone battery. Battery composition and quality. Not all phone batteries are created equal. Some smartphones' batteries are made from substandard components. This always has an effect on the durability of the phone battery. If you buy a brand new battery and it drains rapidly right from the beginning, it's highly likely that it may be a cheap rip-off. This is why phone companies usually put a disclaimer in their manuals advising people to not install generic batteries in their phone. Note that a battery inevitably loses its juice over time, irrespective of whether it's being used or not. If you charge a modern smartphone battery to 100%, switch off the phone and retrieve it after many months, it will still have lost some of its juice. In a way, you could say that getting drained is a battery's fate, no matter what the circumstances. These are the main reasons why your smartphones discharge over time, even when it's not being used that much. Most smartphone batteries last for 48 hours at the very peak of their performance, after which they need to be recharged. However, if your phone battery's performance is so abysmal that it needs to be plugged in every 2 to 3 hours, then you should probably get it checked and/or replaced by a professional.